Welcome back. This vlog is again regarding the APC SMX UPS system. So one of the things I wanted to do was address some of the comments I received from a few good friends. They had asked, what method am I using for communication to talk to these battery packs, to the controllers, etc. And why would you need to talk to the battery? Why would you need to communicate with the controller? Good question. So in my home, in my long-term goals, is to be as connected as possible to every facet of my home. It doesn't matter if it's environmental, energy, security, force protection. I'll know. The system basically sends me information, whether it be via email, text, verbally, or through visual aids. And the bulk of the stuff, it's taken many years. It's taken a lot of trial and error, a lot of support from other people in different fields or industries. In this case, it would be the home automation field or industry that I've received lots of support, lots of help, lots of guidance. Anyways, so this is just one part of that ecosystem. So normally you have I'll go from basic to more advanced. So if you did nothing other than purchase one of these units, you have two basic methods to communicate with this controller. One is through USB, which is right there. Okay. The other one is through serial, and it basically uses a RJ45 type connector, but the connection is via either a serial plug, a RS 232, or it could very well be a RJ45. It depends on the model and the year that they did it. Okay, so the third option would be using one of these actual network interface cards provided by APC. Right now, the fourth method, now it's new. Well, I won't say it's new, but I mean it's newer. Is basically APC has included a similar RJ45 communication port, but the way they're using it is basically the whole cloud connection. Meaning, once you connect to your network, you can basically send that data and make it available to their servers, and so you could be anywhere and then be made aware of current metrics, stats, any emergencies, conditions, variables, whatever it may be, through their cloud services. So one of the key things, unlike a lot of other people, I am not a cloud first or one of those people who enjoy or have embraced cloud power. I just haven't. I won't. I never will. I use it where it's needed. I use it where it can supplement. I use it where it makes sense. But my entire house is what I call local first versus cloud first. If I have any connection that has to do with cloud, it only supplements, or it's one of the methods to add more features or options, or worst case scenario, there's no other method but to use their shitty cloud. Okay, but again, easily 98% of everything I have in my home is local first, meaning it requires no internet connection. If the cloud exploded tomorrow, everything in my house will continue to operate without a skip or a beat, because there's no requirement, there's no dependency on that cloud solution. Okay. Anyways, getting back. If you did nothing and you simply use the USB type of communication, you would then need to install APC's PowerShoot software or the Smart UPS application. So nothing wrong going this route. The only downside that I have experienced back in the day going this way versus the method you see here is the fact that you need to have a PC running 24/7. So way back in the day, before everything was more efficient, more streamlined, and just being green, it costs you money. right? So again, my goal is to be as green as possible, to manage my consumption, to break out at end of the year to be net zero. So I can't do that with a PC running 24/7. Now, having said that, it's 2019 now. You can have build, purchase all these micro PCs, in which, by the way, I have tons of them now. Okay, because I migrated again from huge power hog machines, okay, to all these micro PCs that literally sip anywhere from zero point 0.2 watts all the way. The most energy consumption pig that I have in the building that does a lot of stuff for me is 12 watts. That is unbelievable. That's unheard of back in the day. Okay, so the gist of what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to either incorporate everything into one single computer, or have smaller ones that if you combine them all of them combined would still equal one. So that just comes to either say building a single server or using multiple services on that one specific computer system. So anyways, I'll get back to that in a few seconds. So the only downside, as I said, is going this route. It requires a PC 24/7, and I didn't want that to happen in my environment because that's just wasteful. It makes no sense to me. Okay, going through the serial route is the same thing. It's just a different form of communication, but you still need a computer running this application, or you would still have to spool a computer to connect to it and go inside the command line and be able to see the metrics, etc. through there. Okay, through the CLI. All right, so that is like 1980. I know a lot of people enjoy going in terminal and so forth, but you know what? That's just fucking gay. It's 2019. Okay, why do I run commands? Right, I run commands all day long at work. All right, you've done a day, done a week, you've done it for 25 years. It's just fucking gay. All right, that's why they create the GUI. All right, those guys who are still stuck on the CLI command and so forth. Yeah, there's a place, there's a time when you're doing bulk commands, or you're doing something fast and stream, or there's a process or a feature that's only in there. That's not because that's awesome. It's because the asshole who came up with that was too stupid to include it into the GUI. That's the bottom line. It's just lazy. It's lazy programming. All right. Anyways, enough of that rant. The next thing is basically this. This card, for what it is, don't get me wrong. I love what this thing can provide me, what it can do. But this thing, all right, in this specific box, this one has a APC AP9631 network management card, or NMC, okay? This thing, again, is a overpriced, glorified NIC card that you'd see in any computer system, all right? If you bought one of these from APC, it doesn't matter what version. It's anywhere from $400 to $700. I want you to say that out loud. $400 to $700 for a freaking NIC card. All right. Yeah, there's a couple more features in here, and I'll address that later. But ultimately, the reason why people buy this is that so they can connect to their network. This thing has a built-in web browser. It runs lots of different services. It offers no less than 350 options. Okay, love it. Don't get me wrong, awesome. But is it worth the $400-500 a piece? Oh hell no. Okay, anybody who tells you that it's worth that much is smoking and drinking the freaking Kool-Aid. All right, because there's no way this thing is worth that kind of money. All right, so all I gotta say is shout out for eBay, shout out for secondhand, shout out for surplus. All right, because there's no way I could afford to buy one of these cards. Never mind, I have more than 12 of these cards in my various systems. So do the math. If we went on the lowest range, we'll say it was $100 a piece, and there's 12 of them. That's $1,200 freaking dollars for a NIC card. Okay, so if you want on the high end, which is the retail price, which if you had nothing, there was no eBay, no Craigslist, there was nothing. There's basically no secondhand, and you went on the $500, wherever it was. Do the math. 500 times 12. you're talking about almost $8,000. So it's about 66 thereabouts $100 US. Conversion of Canadian, it's over $8,000. Okay, $8,000 for what? For the sole purpose and the benefit to connect to the network, right? So APC, you could do way better because you're seriously robbing the consumer, right? And people get in there because I'm in the enterprise environment. Even when I had to buy these fucking cards, all right, I was just choked thinking, how can you ask so much money for these things, right? Everybody's got to make money. I don't begrudge anybody making profit. But come on, where's the freaking value on that APC? Come on. We've used your equipment for over 30 freaking years. And that's where somewhere you could give some value. And that comes around the full circle with the whole, they have a cloud-based thing, which they offer a RJ45 on there, okay? My personal view, that's for retards, okay? That's for retards. That's for people who are too dumb to know that that is a failure point. It has to do with privacy, security. Why in God's green earth would you put your network, a device like this, onto somebody else's network? Okay, and if their service goes down, your ISP goes down, there's many points of failure in that scenario. Never mind, suppose they don't secure their stuff, all right? And people will say, well, why? Well, I want you to think about that. The military, FBI, CIA, hospital. We've all heard about people basically being hacked, held ransom. That's the world where we live in. Okay? That's the reality. So envision somebody says, you know what, we've gone through these 4 or 5 different ways to hack people or how to take down their systems. This is absolutely a huge threat. Think about that. You don't have to worry about hacking a computer system. Okay? You will focus on what powers the computer system, okay? Because we've all heard stuff that happened in the Ukraine. We've heard stuff that's going on in Russia, stuff that's going on in America, on and on and on. So this isn't bullshit. This is real. So if APC hasn't secured their cloud service and they can penetrate it, they could shut down all your entire network. Say you're a bank, you're the military. It doesn't matter who it is. It's basically who's ever was the imbecile who went for the cloud first versus the local first. Okay, this is why having this is within your own network. It's not clouds, nothing. It's local only. All right. So let me cut that off from there because I'm gonna follow up with a few things after that. All right. Later.